Let's go.
All right, Mr. Clark, Mr. Clark. As I said earlier, you have some sleepy eyes here. Is it because you are moving around and taking care of all of this business and investing not only in yourself, but also in your physical, emotional, and mental being?
Moving and grooving.
Yeah, how's that been for you?
It's been good. Health is wealth. That's one thing I can say. I stand on and I preach all the time. Like, everybody, you can shoot for wealth, but without health, you can't enjoy it.
That's right.
Definitely got to stay healthy in order to enjoy the wealth.
Nice. So, well, thank you for taking the time.
Always.
You know, this is super important information. But before we get into all that, we wanted to start with, just a general question. And, if you could tell us a little bit about how you grew up and what that looked like for you.
So growing up, me and my brother and my dad being the oldest boy between, me and my little brother at the time was a bit rough. You don't have nobody to look up to. You don't have no older siblings to teach you the ropes, when you bump your head in life and things like that. So basically it was trial and error. So out running the streets, running with the wrong crowd, running with the right crowd, just learning. Like, you really learn your core when you're forced to run the streets, to have to learn, you know what I'm saying? Right and wrong. Like, yeah, my dad, he told me right from wrong and tried to shelter me, but when you told to go outside to the streetlights, come on, you finna get into whatever you can get into.
Exactly.
I used to steal, just store by the house, long as drugs. I used to steal all the time. I had a pocket full of change. I used to go in there and steal candy bars all the time. But I didn't learn until I got caught. And
like most of us.
Right. So I'm in the back of the police car at 9 years old, getting took home. I'm stealing some Zero candy bars.
Right.
So that was a big turning point for me, just learning, like, okay, can't steal because I'm not getting back in no cop car again.
Right.
Then you get home and you get in trouble all over again, and it's like, okay, I'm really not about to, you ain't about to get caught. So learning that, and then, like, my friends and stuff, they started drinking at an early age, so, I had to deal with them smoking at an early age, and, just when you're different, you know what I'm saying? Like, like, okay, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about to drink. I'm not about to smoke. So now it's, you're forced to, you gotta be yourself at all times. So you'll be tested. You'll always be tested. Your friends is gonna test you. It's not like, they have no malice, when they do it. It's just like, well, we getting high, so why don't you get high? And it's like, when you don't want to do it, you just don't want to do it.
Right.
So I've always stood on my morals. So my friends already know that. Like, if I'm not gonna drink, I'm not drinking. Don't ask me 100 times, don't ask me 50, I'm not drinking.
The answer is no.
That's it. And you stand on that. And I've always stood on that, no matter what. Like, walking to school, I always had to walk miles. So I walked to school with holes in my shoes, socks coming out the bottom of my shoe, holes in those, it's raining, my whole foot
Real
wet.
definition of hustle hard.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you just gotta get it.
Right.
Get to school, never complain. Took it on the chin and kept going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get to school complaining about my life. I just took it to the field or took it to the court and just went hard. That was it. Never had the backpacks. Everybody had Jan. I think the Jan Sports was in back then. Everybody had Jan Sports. I had some Big 5 backpack that was like $10. But at the end of the day, like, people speak on me, they're gonna speak on, man, he played basketball, he played hard. Because that was me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna dwell on what I didn't have or what I couldn't get, because I understood, like, Pops didn't have it. So with that being said, it was like I just did the best I could with what I had.
Gotcha.
I remember 7th grade, store called Just for Feet. This is back when feelers was cracking. You know what I'm saying? I got my first pair of feelers, boy. And I think, was it the first week, the week before school, I ended up getting grounded for doing something. I think I was climbing the roof at the school or something like that. I got grounded. So I went and got my feelers. They was blue with the red and white on them. So I put them in the window for all my friends to see, because I couldn't go outside. I couldn't show everybody my new shoes. So I put them in the window for everybody to see. But that's just little stuff when you grow up in the hood, in the ghetto. You do little stuff like that. Like, you take pride in a little bit of stuff that you do get. But I was the one, like, Pops couldn't afford Jordan. I didn't get my first pair of Jordans till I was like 33. My first pair of real life Jordans, like at 33. And I like them, they cool and all, but I mean, to me, it's like, I don't see what the hype is. It's a shoe.
Yeah. So you never seen not having these materialistic things as a disadvantage?
No. Why?
Nice. And can you speak a little bit more to that?
For me,
and the reason that I ask this is because most people feel like if they don't have the designer, they're not it.
It's a shoe. What? So what's the difference between putting on a Jordan, a Reebok, and a LA Gear shoe?
If you ask society, there's a big difference.
What's the difference though in reality? In reality, what's the difference? They're all shoes. They all do the same thing. The LA Gears might light up, but at the end of the day, like what special do they do?
Right.
Nothing. Wearing a Michael Jordan shoe don't give me powers. It wasn't the shoe that made me play basketball the way I did. It was me. It was working out. It was practicing every day. A lot of people don't know. I used to be out there in 110 degree weather practicing basketball by myself. I have a 2 liter of soda. Should not be drinking soda, but I don't know no better. You know what I mean? Like I'm out here practicing. You know what I'm saying? Jumping, throwing the ball. I'm sweating in a pair of Reeboks, soccer shoes. You know what I'm saying? Like trying to figure whatever I get my hands on, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like having to go to Big Five, you know what I'm saying, to get a pair of school shoes. Like, you know what I mean? Like Pops used to be like, I mean, well, $35 section is what you could choose from. And, you know, I'm looking for the nearest Nike, like, this is a basic Nike right here. It look like somebody's grandpa's shoe.
Right.
So now I'm like, dang, I got Reeboks is cool, Adidas, you know what I'm saying? So I'm picking from shoes. I'm going to school and nobody got the shoes that I got because nobody's shopping at Big Five.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But
you never allowed that to wrap your identity up in the material thing. Never.
Because I've always been respected on a higher level than that.
Talk about it.
I can come to school and whatever, and I've always be respected. I mean, if you want to disrespect me, let's take it to the court. Or if you want to get down, we can get down. I've never been afraid of anybody. My uncle taught me how to box at a young age, but I've always respected fighting. It was a point in my life, staying with my dad, that one of the guys up the street, I don't know why, but we used to fight every day, like literally for like 3 months. Every time I used to see him, we fighting. You can call that a bully. I don't know what you call it, but I'm not about to back down.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not finna go home and tell my dad I just got beat up by the dude up the street. Because no, then my dad gonna beat me and then I'm about to fight him again. And it's just no. So we gonna get down every day.
Right.
So junior high, high school, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've always given respect, so I'm always get it.
Gotcha.
I don't have to show up to school with the Jordans and whatever jeans is in at the time and the name brand t-shirts and the name
whether
brand.
I got it or not.
Period. I'm me. I'm a mingle with everybody. I'm a mingle with the ones that's wearing boots to school.
Let's get it.
You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, what you got going on? I'm chilling.
Right.
High school, everybody knew where I hung out. It was a tree, by the pool, by the quad, and it was me right there. If I'm not playing basketball, that's where I'm standing. I see everybody. Speak to everybody.
So you have obviously been this way most of your life. This is not just something that you started a few years ago. Where do you feel like you get the resilience and the strength from after all that you've been through as a youth and then as a young adult, and then also going through the transitions that you've gone through as a young adult? How do you think that you've been able to hold on to like strength and resilience?
It's something that was instilled in me young. My grandma Bobby, rest in peace. She nicknamed me man. She always said I always carried myself as a man, even as a child. So I always knew I was gonna be different. I always knew that the rules of life don't pertain to me.
Yeah.
So growing up, playing soccer and everything, like I always, like when I played soccer at 6 and 7 and 8, like our team was full of everybody. We got Mexicans, white kids, Asian kids, black kids, like we all on one team.
Yeah.
We all a family. I learned that young. So I took that with me on the way up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if I go to a school, like I'm not just gonna hang out with the black kids. For what?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the ghetto, there's no skin color.
Talk about it.
Where I grew up at in the ghetto is white kids, Mexican kids, black kids,
Everybody's
Asian
struggling.
kids. We all struggling alike.
We all struggling.
You know what I'm saying? We all out here trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
So I never strayed away from what I was taught when I was young because it worked. It worked for me. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I always got respect. Always. Gotcha. But I always gave it on top of that. Never disrespected nobody. Never made fun of nobody because they couldn't get a certain shoe. Like, I was blessed to even get shoes from Big Five because I had friends that had to get shoes from Payless.
Yeah. And
Payless is where we go for Easter shoes. So, you know what I mean? Like, think about it.
Yeah.
We in junior high and high school. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
Who finna show up to school with Payless shoes? Like,
I did. One season I did. Yeah, I get it.
It happens.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what does it have to do with you as a person?
Right.
Nothing. So why treat somebody different? There's no point. You know what I mean? Like, freshman year, I heard they were throwing freshmen in the trash can. You know, I'm like Cedric Entertainer. I wish a motherfucker would. Hey, I'm a freshman. I'm right here. Hey, everybody, what's going on?
Can you see me?
I'm right here.
I'll be right here. On
Never happened. Never happened. Never happened.
So you would say that started very young.
Definitely started young. Okay. Definitely started young. I went to elementary school with, it was all basically minorities. A lot of Hmongs, a lot of Mexicans, blacks, and some whites. Like, a lot of my closest friends are white.
Gotcha.
Like, I can call right now. They get up out their sleep. What do I need? I'm on my way. Right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people that were friends are family.
Yeah.
They mom called, check on me. I called, check on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a friendship. Like, they call me son. I can come over 1 o'clock in the morning. Yeah. And they give me a pillow and a blanket and tell me the couch right there. No questions asked. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is the rapport that I've built with people. That's just something that's just instilled in me.
Right.
And for me, I feel like I get that from my grandparents, my ancestors. I don't know. But when I look at my family dynamics, it's there. It's really there. It's within my whole family.
Yeah.
People pick and choose what they want to do.
Whew, so much. Talked about the ancestors and the grandparents and everybody. Let's transition a bit. You are now in a place where you not only have an understanding of financial literacy, you have mentors, you are making your credit work for you. You have businesses that you're involved in, you have Airbnbs that you're involved in, you have property, you have cars. Now, how do you go from growing up in the bare minimum to then becoming this person that not only understands the credit world, but also understands how to play the game when it comes to making your finances work for you instead of you working for your finances?
I use the way I was raised as a driving force. It keeps me alive. It keeps me going. It keeps this engine moving because I'm not going back. In order to not go back, you got to make the right decisions, right? So when it comes to looking at my life as a whole, let me back up. I'm a pre-thinker. So I'm going to always think ahead.
Gotcha.
So when it comes to, like, when I'm driving, I don't look at the car in front of me. I look at the 2 or 3 cars in front of the car in front of me. Because if the car 4 lights up, hits their brakes, what's going to happen? Everybody else is going to hit their brakes, right? I don't want to get hit with the car in front of me hitting their brakes and then I'm slamming on my brakes when I can just look ahead. And once they hit their brakes, I can start gradually slowing down. Yeah. And then by the time everybody start hitting their brakes, I'm already a car length behind the car that's in front of me. So I take that same notion in life. For me, it's the same thing.
Gotcha. So I guess I hopped ahead a bit. What was your mental like before you became that person? So what was it like for you having to figure out finances and credit?
I wasn't. I was just existing. I was just going.
I
was just going with the flow.
Let's talk about it.
I was just going with the flow because if I wasn't, and I would have learned this a long time ago, I'd be in a totally different space right now. But I mean, you know, in your 20s, you're not thinking about.
What does it look like to just survive? What does that look like?
Stress.
Mm-hmm.
Stressful.
Mm-hmm.
Just surviving is just like I said. Your bill's not on auto pay. You're making your payments late. You're making arrangements all the time.
Yeah.
You living beyond check to check. Let's just be honest. Living check to check, dang near nowadays is a necessity. That's what happens.
Yeah.
But when you're just existing, you living under check to check. You're always trying to figure it out. You're always stressed out. It's the little things that take you out every single day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you get to work and you got just enough gas to get back to work the next day, and you don't think about how you're gonna get home or how you're gonna get some more gas until it's time for you to leave work.
Right. Right.
But we're not disciplined enough to put our car on full and say this tank of gas has to last me from Monday to Saturday. So we get a full tank of gas and we want to go see Rashida, Timothy and them, hang out with Boss and them, and then make our way home. Now, the full tank of gas done lasted us Monday to Wednesday instead of Monday to Saturday.
Right.
And now we trying to figure out, okay, how the heck do I get from Wednesday to Saturday?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like back in the day when I used to work security, I used to make good money. I was 18 years old making almost $2,200 every 2 weeks.
Nice.
And I'm still overdrafting my car for gas. Bad spending habits. Yeah. Not saving. Not budgeting.
Not thinking about the future.
Right. Overextending myself. You know what I'm saying? Just because I got a full tank of gas, why am I visiting 15 people? Come visit me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you don't learn these things until you get into that space where it's like, dang, like if I stop calling all these people, let's see who gonna call. And you hear that?
Crickets.
So you do a lot of wasteful spending young, but you have to catch yourself. Once you catch yourself and you're like, dang, I gotta cut out all this excess spending. Like I tell people, learn to love being at home. Yeah. Build your home. I don't care if it's a tiny home, apartment, a studio, a shack, a garage. Build it to where you love it. Because then you get to get in your space. You get to be creative. You can save. You can look at life for what it is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they don't even like being at home. And that's their downfall. If you don't love being at home, that means you're going to spend every waking moment away from there.
Right.
When you walk out the door and you break a 20, the whole 20 gone.
Right.
You spend $1 out that $20, you now have $19.
Right.
The 20 is now broken.
Right.
Nowadays, you don't spend a 20.
Right.
You walk out the door and you break 100.
Right.
So you can start off the week on Monday. I got $500. This $500 gotta last me till next time I get paid, aka living check to check. Monday, you done broke 100 already. Tuesday, you broke another 100. Now you got ones and a couple of 20s laying around. You ain't even understanding. You got $342 left.
Gotcha.
And it's Tuesday.
Yeah.
Now, if you can be at home and do what you need to do from home, you don't need to leave. Come Tuesday, you got $500 still. People can't do that.
Yeah.
They got to go see what so-and-so doing. So-and-so having a backyard barbecue. Let me wrap around. I got to stop by Mom Duke's house. Pick up the phone. Our phones are laptops nowadays. You can FaceTime. You can do all types of. You can play video games with your friend. Everything.
So that was your mentality of before.
Before, yeah, I was everywhere. I had a car. I'm in traffic.
Yeah.
I will burn a full tank of gas in 2 days.
Just cause.
Just because. Just to get in traffic. See what everybody doing. Nowadays, I'm not in a hurry to get in traffic. I'm not in a hurry to waste.
If there's not a destination
at all.
So, you have talked about the 7 months of discipline a couple of times. Now, if you can just kind of give us a general overview of what led you up to the 7 months of discipline. So, after knowing all this, you just getting paid good money and then just wasted it all on hanging out or connecting with people or, fronting people's bills or whatever that looks like. After you've gotten out of that, what does it look like for you, and why did you get to a place where you felt like, you know what, I got to be better than this. I have to do better than this. Like, I need to figure out what the other lane is all about.
There's 3 things. I met this one guy, right? He's a millionaire. He told me he go on vacation at least 4 times a year. Ask yourself, how many times a year do you go on vacation? Most of the time, it's 0.
Right.
Let alone 4.
Right.
It has nothing to do with how much money he has. It's how much money he retains.
Right, because he can, so that's why he does. Yeah.
We'll spend $1,000 a week on food and gas. That's a trip. That's a round trip somewhere.
Woo. That's a round trip and room.
So you change your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
I'm home. I'm about to book this trip. I'm going to Houston next month.
Right.
Now, if I'm out running the streets every day, you think I'm better to go to Houston next month? No.
Mm-hmm.
And if I do, I'm going to overextend myself. You think
Right.
overextending yourself is a smart thing to do? It's not.
Right.
Because you're going to pay for it either way it go. Now or later.
Right. Right.
That 7 months, hard. Hard. Long nights, early mornings, repetitive, watching videos repetitive, going over things repetitive, getting a better understanding of, okay, I got $1,000 and I got to make this $1,000 stretch for 30 days.
Right.
Automatically, I need to take $500 of that and put it away.
Right.
So now I need to figure out how to live off of $500 for 30 days. Some people tell you it's not doable. It's very doable. It's very doable. And that also pertains to health as wealth, right?
Right.
So our eating habits are bad. We have terrible eating habits nowadays because food is so good. Everything's online. They make the cheese be so melted and it be stringy. And you be like, oh my God, I got to have 6 of those. And your stomach telling your brain what to do. You tell your brain need to tell your stomach what to do. This is what we're doing.
Right.
You having a smoothie today.
Period.
That's it.
That's it.
Go for a walk. There's tons of things we can do to where we save. Next thing you know, $1,000 in 30 days, you done save $700 of that. Watch how your life change.
Right.
Literally. You go from spending $1,000 a month to retaining $700 of that.
Right.
Eventually, you'll learn how to retain $900 of that.
So for the 7 months of discipline, you shut down in every area.
Shut down in every aspect of life.
And what does that look like?
Not going out, not going to the mall, no shopping, no hanging out. Any extra time I had, I would walk 2-3 miles, I'd work out. I'd double back on studying, reading. When it comes to getting a better understanding of how to take your money and basically how to take debt and make it make money for you. We're used to taking our money or debt and making more debt.
Yeah.
So if you have $1,000 credit card, you're gonna spend $1,100 of that, right? What is it making you? Nothing.
Right.
You take that same $1,000 credit card and find a way for it to make you money.
Yeah.
Now you done use $900 off this credit card, and it's making you, I don't care if it's making you $80 a month.
Right.
You'll pay your credit card off, or you could double up, pay it off in 6 months. Now you're making $80 a month, residually, every month from that one credit card. You use that debt to make you money. You didn't even use your own money. So doubling down and really studying hard on, okay, what does this look like? It's really like Nip said, it's a marathon. So you're gonna take that $80 and you times it by 5.
Gotcha.
Instead of saying, well, how do I make $1,000 a month? No, you find these little streams here and there. 60 here, 80 there. That's continuous.
Right.
And they start to add up. It's like with my rental cars. I have a slingshot, a charger. I'm about to grab something else, but my slingshot can bring me anywhere between $300 to $400 a day. Times that by 2 weeks.
Right.
Instead of trying to go for the big money, my charger right now is doing $68 a day. It's been going for 3 months.
Yeah.
Some people will be like, it's not enough money. I'd rather take an extra $900 to $1,000 a month extra than be trying to be like, I need $2,500 a month. No,
Right.
You take the little income and you multiply it. Now imagine if I had 5 chargers doing $68 a day, profiting $1,000 a month. That's $5,000 a month in residual income.
And 900 is good to somebody who has nothing. Yeah, so
now you take that 900 and you live off of 800. I mean, you live off of 100 of that and you retain 800 of that.
So when you say retain, explain that part.
You take the 800 and you retain it, whether you put it into a dividend bearing account. A lot of people do Robinhood. You get on Robinhood, you can figure out the stock options, the puts, and all that good stuff.
So basically, reinvest it.
That's it. Like the man said on the video, you gotta. You have your main source, and then all the rest of it you're investing.
Yeah. So, why is it important to you because you've been like this for a long time, you've been like this for years, where you'll get information and you're just so open to share it. You're always helping, mentoring, speaking into, you always take that moment to help somebody else when you could, because most people do figure it out for themselves and just focus all on themselves. So why do you think it's important to share this information? And
for me, because I done been there. I done been there where I needed information. Nobody wants to help. Nobody wants to help you get that information.
Yeah.
I done spun my wheels in circles in certain times in my life trying to figure out what does going to a car lot consist of? When I didn't have the information to know that if I go to this car lot, they're going to take my social security number and they're going to dump it in a pot.
Right.
And 20 lenders are going to pull from. It's going to tank my score, and they're going to tell me you need $7,000 down on a $10,000 car.
Right. Right.
So if we educate each other, then as a whole we can come up.
Right.
That's my philosophy on why I educate as many people as I can. Like I said, and especially if they're willing to listen, like, let's get it going.
Right. Right.
I'd rather have 10 wolves walking with me or walking around me than me be the only wolf walking with a whole bunch of pigs. So we come up on some bears, I'm the only one fighting. Everybody else kind of just like, well, we're about to go.
Right. Do you like to see people win?
Always.
Why?
That's a no-brainer. The smarter we are as a whole, the more we grow. The more we grow, the more our kids and the youngest, they're going to have assets. The name of the game is to build wealth. The only way to build wealth is, like I said, after a certain point in time, we're not building for us anymore. We're building for them. If our parents would have started building for us, things would look different.
Right.
But they had a whole bunch of distractions in their era. We had a whole bunch of distractions in our era too.
Right.
But we're coming to that day and age where knowledge is everywhere.
So you're like that generational curse breaker in your family.
Always. Always.
So I've asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again. Why do you think that in the African American culture, and we see this a lot with our brothers and sisters, there's so much gatekeeping, and there's so much you don't see many African American individuals, especially in our spaces, in our cities, locking arms with each other and saying, let us give you the information that we found, let us bring you all the resources. There just seems to be a lot of gatekeeping and, them covering whatever they're doing and not really wanting to connect with.
For me, and this is my personal opinion, right? That's a generational curse that we have as a whole. For me, I feel like that dates back to slavery. Always, somebody wants to be on top.
Yeah.
I gotta have more than so-and-so. I gotta show more than so-and-so. I gotta do more than so-and-so. For what reason, I don't know. Because it hurts us as a whole.
What do you think we need to do to get past that?
To be honest, I don't even have an answer to that. Because everything I'm gonna say, it's not gonna happen in my lifetime.
Well, I think that at this point, the answer would just kind of be what you and your mentor are already doing, which is locking arms with each other and being the example. And I think that that's just such a good example of what it should look like for people moving forward. Like, if if you can help, then help. If you can
Right.
speak into, speak into. If you can sow seeds, sow seeds. But there's really no reason to, be this territorial being, because there's enough for everybody. There is,
At the end of the day,
there's too many broken people and not enough people serving. So, we need as many hands as we can get.
and we're all broken one way or another. It's just because it's like I always say, if we were in slavery right now, we would all be on the boat and we'd be in there arguing about whose chain is brighter than the other chain, whose chain is more shinier than the next person's chain. So to worry about getting the heck off this dang boat.
Mm-hmm.
As a people, we have to overcome that.
Mm-hmm.
With this world that keep throwing us distractions, because we're always the easiest influence.
Right.
Like you said, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Mark Zuckerberg, they could all be walking down Fashion Fair right now, and they all be wearing Walmart and Target clothes.
Right. Right.
But so and so from up the street got on a whole Christian Dior outfit.
Broke. Yeah.
Broke in, everything.
Yeah.
But we gotta be able to show, I got this new Christian Dior outfit. And if you don't like it, you're a hater.
Right. And this is my identity, so you know that I'm
is
great because I have this. Yeah.
These people laughing at us. Gucci said they don't make clothes for black people. They don't make their stuff for black people. But yet you go to the Gucci store and it's a line of black people all the way out the door and down the street.
Right. What would you say to the young men that are watching this now? Like, what would you say to them when it comes to the work that has to be put in, and then also like the level of discipline? And sometimes when you're in the moment of things, all you can see is your circumstance. So what advice can you give them for them not to see just their circumstance, but to really believe in what they have moving forward? And then also, the work. The work is so important.
First thing I would say is trouble don't last always. That's one thing you got to keep in your mind, no matter the struggle that you're going through at the moment is just the moment. You know what I'm saying? We get caught up in these moments and thinking it's forever. And it's not. It's just a moment. It's just a wrinkle in time. That's what I call it. It's just a wrinkle in time.
Right.
Once you get out of that moment, you really just got to key in on what you're doing at the time, what you believe in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to go back to setting our goals. We got to go back to saying, okay, I want to be this or I want to be that. Like, it's never too late to change your path. You know what I'm saying? Like, watching a documentary, you can go from being a street dude into being a cop.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong wanting to be a firefighter. There's nothing wrong wanting to be a paramedic. There's nothing wrong with any of that.
Yeah.
Don't let these streets tell you that in order to be cool, you got to be this.
Right.
Because it's not it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All that's going to do is get you in jail. And in jail, nobody's cool because you guys are all in jail.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So keep your head straight, stay level-headed, and stick your chest out and handle it.
Well, we are so happy that it just took a lot of vulnerability, and one that's super important because it's hard for people to really sometimes grab strength from, an individual that hasn't been through some of the same things. So thank you for sharing that. Is there anything that you want, those who will see this video to hear outside of what you've already said?
Spread more love and less hate. And remember, you always want to be at peace with yourself and at war with the world. Because at the end of the day, when you go home, it's just you. That's it. It's all love.
All love. Thank you so much, Mr. Clark. And that is a wrap.